Other person here, again, from the Newcastle County Council, and his name is Mr. Timothy Sheldon, and he's going to come and say a few words. Please welcome him. Thank you.
Well, one thing after following that speech, I can tell my council president, he always asks somebody asks how I speak and so forth. I'm fairly loud, as you know. I can actually say, Paul, one time he told my girlfriend, well, how does he really speak? It's like detonating a nuclear bomb. But after following you, Sheriff, I tell you what, I can't do any worse there on that one. First of all, I want to thank Isaiah and Aiden for coming to my office and actually introducing themselves and introducing the Romney Forum. You know, additionally, I want to thank you. It is an honor to actually come before you, your very first Friendship Chapter Dinner in Delaware. It's an honor to speak. You know, I learned a couple things even over history. You know, Delaware's just not Dewey Beach. It's a lot of us think of under 40 and under. After you get back, you start looking at different countries and how different ethnic groups goes ahead. And, you know, you put religion into it. And just when, you know, the two gentlemen came to my office and we were talking about, and I asked about the Quran and I asked about the Bible, and he told me how the similarities are. You know, the sin against Jesus Christ is also a sin, not only to Christianity, but also in the Quran, because he's a prophet. He was brought here by God. That's something that a lot of people do not know in this country, or at least I didn't know. So you know what the official mission of the Romney Forum is. It's been around just for 10 years. But the concept dates back to the 13th century. You know, the mission was quite simply, which I will read off, the universal message of accepting all race, creed, nationality, and color. It's quite simple, by promoting world peace through, which is very important, education, humanity, and establishing a mutual respect for one another. You know, stereotypes and prejudice are very hard. I hate to say this, but probably each one of you have had to deal with this at one time or another. I deal with it as a county councilman. I'm going to tell you why. Started my professional career literally at the lowest rung of the ladder as being a day laborer. Become an apprentice bricklayer. Became a bricklayer after that, then a supervisor. Then I become the head of the local union, the Bricklayers Union, Local 1 of Delaware. Small group. I said, we can't function well. We merged with Philadelphia in the 4-county area, and I became an agent down here. Later on, my new job starting on May 1st this past year, I'm the Chief Administrative Officer of the Bricklayers, which include the entire state of Pennsylvania and Delaware. I actually oversee over $500 million worth of pension, 401k, health and welfare plans. Now, I never graduated college. Worked my way up, just through the knowledge of being on boards and sitting and speaking to people. But I did go to University of Pennsylvania in 2005, Wharton School of Business, for this job that I have now during the day. And I used to come back, and this is where the prejudice part comes in. I used to come back to county government with different ideas, tell them about how insurance plans can be bought for the rainy day fund so we can get rid of the rainy day fund and have this insurance plan. How we could do different stuff if we have property values go tumbling down. Wasn't quite listened to by the administration. They actually told me to go to the state. This is in 2005. I went to the chief of staff down at the governor's office. Told them how the city of Daytona has insurance plans for the two biggest incomes. Spring break, believe it or not, and a NASCAR race, the Daytona 500. With those two incomes coming in, if they do not have those, they are broke. The state of Iowa, Lloyd's of London, by the way, if anybody's interested, takes investments. It's an insurance company, but it's an investment. If they can make money on a product, they'll insure you. It's how Magic Johnson, if anybody knows about basketball, found out he had AIDS because he did an AIDS test before Lloyd's of London insured them. I told him how the state of Iowa is insured by the Lloyd's of London in case their aerospace, their agriculture, or their manufacturing plants go under and they lose more than 10% of their income. If you look on the websites today, I was one of the least ones that are having trouble in the United States of America. Well, guess what? In 2005, I was told, we're not really interested in that. Thank you for coming. I think in 2009, since General Motors, Chrysler, Valero, so a trillion of corruption going downhill, and the income base in Delaware is going under, maybe they would have took this as a positive approach. But I think they stereotype me. As a matter of fact, I know they stereotype me as just being a dumb bricklayer. So when this is said and done, what do we have? We have a stereotype and a prejudice that a lot of people maybe wish we hadn't went through. So anyone involved in a successful organization understands you need a strong foundation. I think starting tonight, you have one. You really do need a strong foundation, because if not, and with all the other nations in the world splitting apart, and we're having havoc in different areas, and you know about it, if they come apart too much, I'm really afraid that all the king's horses and all the king's men might not be able to put it back. So we need a strong foundation, which I'm pleased to say I think you have. If you think about it, when you look at when Mr. Romy was here, and even before, you had the pyramids, you had the Vatican, you had different buildings over in Europe, thousands of years old, thousands. But guess what? They were built by the same people that may have said that they were dumb bricklayers, dumb stonemasons. They're still there while other nations have crumbled. That's why you need a strong foundation. So I really appreciate being honorable to stay here and speak. And I really do believe in this organization because, like I said about our religions, there's a lot of it that's common, that we just give respect to each one. Imagine what we can do, like other people said before me. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And now I would like to ask the mayor of Newark to come to the podium for a few words, Mr. Vance Funk III. Please welcome him.
Thanks for being here, Ezra. I have to say, when these student groups want to come see the mayor, I get kind of trepidation. What are they going to ask me to do? And the three students that came to me the first time, they came with the message of peace. And it just so happened I was on the American delegation to the Hague Peace Conference for peace and communities. And so I was very much involved in that message. And I have to say, working with you and all the other students, it's been an incredible experience. I appreciate the opportunity very much. I have to say, you know, when you signed up for community cleanup and you picked the cleanest street in the city, I was a little bit worried that. So I make sure you got a dirty one, because I know you're committed. I know you'll do a good job. It's been an honor to be around you. It's just fun being with students in general, but you're special. You really are, and I appreciate you having me involved. Thank you.